Okay, guys, here we are with Michelle, who is top 8 Moncton Regionals with Dragunities. Yes, that's right, I said Dragunities. Um, so we're going to get into the deck list, some card explanations, thoughts, and on how he did in his matchups and all that. So let's get started.
Three ducks. You run it because it wins. Three phalanx. If you don't start with it with a ravine, well, kind of go slow. Double legionnaire. Not three, two. Keeps the deck consistent. Most time I discard it for ravine to get ducks if I need to. Worst case scenario, I'll use this effect with Arclis, summon him, equip, pop Thunder King in the back row. Funniest thing ever. Double Arclis, 3 be too much. Double Mistletoe.
Gets off the combos.
Yeah, it gets off the combos. If I get ducks and they effect Vader it, I go to Stardust right away. No big deal. But if they don't effect Vader, summon ducks, phalanx, shenanigans. Next thing you know, I have Anatom, a Stardust, and a Darkest Metal Dragon in field in defense mode, with probably 2 back rows set. That wins my games most times. Double Zephyros, open it up with Ravine, you win.
Same combo, yeah.
Yeah. Double
Now,
MST.
Wait, why 2 Zephyros?
Well, 1's not enough to get it consistent enough in your hand. 3, it clogs up.
Okay, makes sense.
Double MST, well, it gets rid of the warnings. Compulses, that's where it hurts me the most. Yeah.
Any set cards. Why not 3?
Why not 3? Well, most times Ackley's Legionnaire, Scrap Dragon can get rid of my back row, as well as Heavy Storm.
That's
so.
True. And you got Lance, right?
Yeah, double
yeah,
Lance.
So.
Yeah. Double cards of consonants for those herb their terms when I start with Phalanx or Ackley's, or start with Ravine, discard, get my tuner, get my cards of consonants, my plays are still up right away.
Yeah.
Triple Ravine, you need to have 3, otherwise no. Triple Terraforming, you want to have that first turn. It doesn't matter if you start with 4 Ds in your hand, you can still go off.
Yeah.
Well,
Get your Ravine
3 Ds
faster.
in one of those, right? Lance, stops Compulse, Bottomless, Torrential, all the stupid back row that you want to go. If you're going second, this makes you go off nonetheless. Monster Born, yeah, same thing. Heavy Storm,
staple.
yeah. Pile of Avarice, well, most times you will use it. However, I felt no need to have it. Whenever I use that card, I still lost my games. Was too far behind. If I would replace it with something else, probably, but never occurred to me what card to use for it yet. I'll make a video about that later, perhaps. Foolish Burial. It's basically like a 7th Ravine with the Terraformings. I can send my Phalanx or my Zephyros, get my plays going, or heck, send Darkest Metal Dragon, Monster Reborn, and just win the game right there.
Yeah.
Book of Moon, stops synchros, exceeds, stops attacks, protect my Stardust, goes all around. The Prison, protect Stardust. First turn, I want to get Stardust out. This makes sure he stays on the field. Against Heroes, Aedis goes out of play, Shining out of play. Perfect.
Good card.
Yeah. Shadow Road. Send my Ravine, a back row and that, I'm all set with a Stardust Dragon. If you want to MST one of my back rows, and they give with Stardust, and then you'll try the Heavy Storm, that's there to wreck their day. Double Stardust on the field, that makes it just lovely at end phase. Solemn Judgment, stops all I need.
Yeah.
Fetus Chain, well, that over Effect Vader is because it stops attacks. I can bounce it back to my hand with Zephyros.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Fun like hell.
And it's good against like windups and stuff. So.
Exactly. Warning, well, I could bottomless, but doesn't stop Black Rose effects. I want to stop their trigger effects.
Yeah. So questions people are going to ask is, why no Dark Hole or Torrentials?
Well, no Dark Holes is because if I'm going first turn, they're not going to have a monster Dark Hole, and I'm going to have my big field set up right off the bat. Normally with that, I win up the game. I'm not going to need to be having Dark Hole. Normally, if I need Dark Hole, it means I'm losing, and I should have lost in the first place.
Yeah.
Same thing with Torrential. I'm going to have my Stardust on the field, therefore I'm not going to need to destroy their monsters. My monsters take care of that for me, no problem for that.
Yeah.
Besides, the Prisons, Warnings, Book of Moon, Lances, they get rid of my monsters for me when I need to.
Yeah. So kind of same thing with Bottomless too. You felt you didn't need it.
Yeah, it doesn't stop effects.
Yeah.
Most times. Yeah.
So 40 card main deck.
That is correct.
Okay, so that's the main deck, guys. I'll move on to the extra deck.
Triple Vargion goes with any Dragunity deck. You need to have 3.
Yeah, he gets everything
Use the
going.
second effect with Achilles, pop their back row, swing for 38, and then Monster Born, Phalanx, for example, sync with the Stardust, or you just go off into Stardust directly. First turn, you gotta go into Stardust,
Right.
unless some special circumstance says otherwise.
Yeah.
Gay Durg. I rarely use him, but what I do is just mostly set up my graveyard. send a Zephyros to my graveyard or one of my tuners if need be.
Right. So that's pretty much what he's for, yeah.
Yeah. Also, it's a level 6 for exceeding.
Right.
Some things like that. Yeah. Stardust, basic plays.
He's kind of staple for this deck.
You cannot. Yeah, you need it just like that. You're on.
Yeah.
Go for Starlight Road. First turn with Ducks. Lovely. Thought Rooter, great against heroes. Wind-ups pretty much as well there too. Summon Stardust first turn, don't attack with it. Have her back to protect you for that turn, depending on the situation.
Right.
Summon Thought Rooter, Deep Prisons, Mirror Force, Book of Moon, nothing's gonna stop it because Stardust is gonna negate anything that's mass destruction and he's gonna set the targets. Against heroes, it wrecks them.
Yeah.
Scrap Dragon, Shenanigans, pops their back row, pops their monster, gets things out of my way.
Yeah, he's kind of staple too.
Yeah.
Now,
Does a lot of work. Pop himself on the back row, bring it back Metal Dragon, do it over again, Monster Born, do it over again.
Yeah.
It's like almost like Exectors again there. Colossal Fighter. I did not use them at regionals much. Mostly we'd be against Dragon Chaos for the Dark Metal Dragon, ram into it and ram into the monster. Double kill almost.
Yeah.
Pretty much it for that. Against 6 Sams, I would not recommend use against that. Orient Dragon does a job for that, giving you a Xian.
And he'll explain more about Orient Dragon in a second.
Yeah. Atom, well, if you open it with Ducks and a Mistletoe and a Ravine or with a Zephyros, you go to Atom, Special Summon Dark Metal Dragon from the deck, bring back one of their rank 6 exceeds that was used for the material, synchro with the Phalanx, and you have a Stardust, a Atom, and you exceed
An overlay with Gaia Dragon,
yeah.
right?
As well as the Dark Metal Dragon. If he stays alive, next turn you're just plussing out of nowhere.
Yeah.
As well as your back row keeps it alive. Final Strike Bouncer, rarely use it.
Right. But he does get your effects through and all. It stops effects and all
Yeah, it's mostly if I have like the overkill plays there.
Right.
But nowadays I could even took it out if I needed more room, but it's okay for now.
that. Yeah.
Gaia Dragoon goes over Atom,
Goes
simple as
over
that.
Bouncer, right? Yeah. And the last three?
Orient Dragon, I consider having a rank 4 exceed instead of that. However, rarely I would have like a Dux or a Zephyros and I would need to exceed them. Normally, if I have those two monsters and no tuners, I shouldn't have lost in the first place.
Right. And he's good against Xian and stuff like that.
That's
so.
basically, if I get rid of Xian, I'm all set.
Right.
TJ Hyper Librarian, summon with Legionnaire. Normally I still go first turn if I had the option for that. Doesn't matter,
Yeah.
Stardust always goes first. But if somehow I can have Monster Born and do both, go ahead first, draw more with this. Big wins.
Right.
Calastor stops those multiple attribute decks. It's pretty
Right.
good.
So that's the extra deck. Let's move on to the side deck.
Prohibition. Against any deck that has key cards like Heroes with the earliest, things like that. It's pretty straightforward.
Right.
Goes in match, shuts down wind-ups. I play wind-ups all day.
Two out most of them?
Yeah, I two-out most of them.
Right.
The only one game I lost is because I exploded first and had an Exceed. I thought I was done in
Yeah.
Rapids.
Michelle went X and 1 in Swiss, so his only loss was to Windups, who ended up top 4 in the event, so
Yeah, well that's okay.
yeah.
Snowman Eater, I would say I would like to use against heroes, but I'm thinking of taking one out to make more room for other sides. It's too slow for me.
Right.
I want their alias not hit the field whatsoever and make it
Yeah,
all dead.
Prohibition, right.
Perhaps against bubble builds.
Right. Or Dino Rabbit and stuff like that.
Yes, I didn't play against those. It seems
No.
that our locals it doesn't exist anymore.
Yeah.
Y'all want wind-ups.
Yeah.
Roll Decree. Stops Spurns, stops heavy back row like heroes as well. Answers to all back row basically.
Back row, yeah.
Shadow Piercing Mirror. Any dark decks, Gravekeepers, Dark Worlds, anything like that, shuts them down. I ain't Piercing Mirrors. I would say Light Sworn, but it only does half the
it's
job.
rare. Yeah.
Against Erratics, shuts them down completely, they can't do anything.
Right. And good against agents too.
Yeah, I didn't play against much of those though, but yeah, it would be good against them, against their Hyperion.
Yeah.
Mystical Space Typhoon. Well, if my opponent knows well how to play against Dragunity, they're gonna put cards like Macros Cosmos, things like that, if their deck doesn't get hurt by it.
Right.
That's what the third MST comes along, clears the back row.
Extra back row, right.
Yeah. Grand Mole gets rid of those decks that has like strong floaters that I can't get rid of, like White Dragon Ninja with Save Zone somehow.
Right. Because there is one deck at our locals, guys, who plays that. It's really annoying.
Yeah. Mind you, I haven't had the luck to play against them, so they didn't do much against me.
Right.
Um, Simple as that.
He just gets over threats pretty much.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
Yeah, and
Um,
smashing ground.
Basically, gets rid of Thunder King. I guess Machine, I suppose, gets rid of their fortress if it's not equipped to a gear frame on it or anything like that.
Right.
When not Soul Taker, well, I didn't have any Soul Taker on me. I did
Right.
manage around it, and it did its job.
Right.
Not complaining about
It's a
that
good
card.
card. Gets rid of Thunder Kings, stuff that's big threats.
Yeah.
So, some people are going to ask why no Max C for windups.
Well, don't have maxis. Had them before. Sold them
Right.
for a lot of money.
Yeah.
I'm happy with that.
So that's the deck profile, guys. Did you want to go over your rounds, if you can remember them?
Most games are 2-0 except for Georgia, which I didn't have the proper setting against
Right.
them.
Yeah, he lost in top 8 to Georgia, so
They play really well. Really well.
yeah, he's a really good player.
What I'm thinking though for my next build though is replacing perhaps one of my Suminators and placing them in the cross out.
Okay.
Instead of their gear armor.
Oh yeah,
Pop
Georgia
it,
armor. Yeah,
you
because
go
he
right
knows
through.
more Georgias now. You got to side for them. So
Yeah, lack of experience
Yeah.
against them for lack of locals having them in the first place.
Right. So he did go X and 1, so congratulations to him. Be sure to congratulate him in the comments. If you guys have any more questions on the wonderful deck that he topped with, just PM us or comment below. And thanks for watching, guys. Later, YouTube.
Ciao.